What's up, Conroe? Welcome to a brand new edition of Nerd Thug Sports. We're hanging out here on 104.5, 106.1, the sister stations, and we're streaming worldwide at irlonestar.com. As always, on this wonderful, wonderful Thursday, you can come hang out with us at facebook.com/Nerd Thug Radio. It's the mothership. It's where it's all going down. What's going on, buddy? This is Corey DLG, with me as usual is his little brother Nico.
That's me. Not much for me right now. Just a lot of school stuff going on.
School stuff?
Yeah.
Any big, what's going on? Any big school news?
No. Like, I gave a speech once, and then I have a test, like, tomorrow.
What's the test over?
Biology. Super easy stuff.
Do you know biology?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I'm taking it like a million. Well, I took it once in high school.
That is weird, right? That's one of those overlaps. Like, you take biology in high school, and then 2 years later, like, hey, have you taken biology? And you're like, yeah, I just took it. And like, hey,
like that one,
take
like
it again.
Economics. Except that's one I feel like is way more important.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's just a money thing.
I don't know. In college, I got kicked out of an economics class one time.
Yeah, because they were talking about the invisible hand, which, to be fair, is literally talked about in every economics class.
Right. They act like it's a real thing, and I was laughing at them, and I said, you can't pretend like you're a science when you...
It's a social science?
It's a social science. So
what do they call it? Soft science?
Yeah, it's a soft science. Everything is based off the result. So, like, because when they move interest rates, this happens, or when they do this happens. They think it'll happen every time, but they don't know that. And so they have to preface everything. So let's say stuff like, this move is predicated on the idea that it's going to help the economy continue growing, or they made this move with the anticipation of these like, everything is like softly assumed. Nothing is known.
Yeah, and like that was one of the things he talked about. He was saying that like a lot of economists like have a really weird like lingo that basically they don't tie themselves to results.
Yeah, no, they say in the past we've done it, so we're going to do it again.
Right.
Which is total BS.
Yeah.
They're guessing. They're all guessing.
It's not like because ice melted, we're just going to assume it's going to do it again.
Exactly. So I remember being in class, and they basically were talking about the cyclical nature of the economy and how the invisible hand always guides it. And I lost my mind. I asked a question. I said, are you seriously under the impression that an invisible hand guides the economy? And he goes, well, it's not really an invisible hand. I was like,
I'm not talking literally.
Yeah, I was like, oh, thanks for clarifying. Well, I didn't realize it wasn't a real invisible hand. It wasn't my question is, do you honestly think that like it follows some sort of natural rhythm? And he's like, well, I mean, it's probably not natural. Like it's like the causes and effects. And I was like, so you don't know?
Yeah.
And then that's when it turned into an argument. That's when it turned into an argument.
You're going to fight the economics teacher.
Well, I mean, it just...
Fight him in the street.
It just makes me mad that they're going to give me a grade when they don't know what they're... Like, they're not 100% sure that what they're saying is even true.
What is the invisible hand?
Right. You're going to ask me 10 questions about the invisible hand of the economics, and if I don't get it right, I don't pass your dumb quiz?
But the invisible hand isn't even real. How are you supposed to see it? It's invisible.
Super glad I paid money to come here today. Right? Like, that's the ultimate thing about it, is I'm paying for you to make up some stuff about an invisible hand.
Yeah.
Cool.
Except everyone talks about it.
Yeah, exactly. And you probably, when I told you that story in the beginning, probably thought like, well, that's weird. But now that you've taken economics, it's literally they all believe, I don't know another way to say it. They all call it the invisible hand of the economy.
Right. But, like, they say it as if, like, it's a factor in it.
Yeah, exactly.
But if they were weathermen, they would talk about it as though it was precipitation. Right.
They would talk about it as though it was a measurable factor in the outcome.
Even though it's, like, so reliant on so many individual factors because economies are huge and, like, super multifaceted. And, like, even when you're talking about, like, national stuff, they're like, but selling between people doesn't count. And you're like, how does that not count?
Isn't that what an economy is?
And they're like, no, that doesn't count. And you're like, okay.
It seems like that's an economy.
Right, but, like, that's not taken into, like, national averages and stuff.
Well, I tried to explain to somebody one time how, like, when you buy local, like, if you only buy local, the money stays in the community and the $1 becomes like $12.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody was like, that doesn't make sense. And I was like, yeah, it really does. If you assume a local market, like I give you $1 for your product, and then you give that $1, and you spend 50 cents here and 30 cents there and 20 cents there, and they take that money and they spend it there and they spend it there and they spend it there and they spend it there, and then like it keeps stacking back up. So the same $10 circles everywhere.
And if you work there, you'll eventually get that
back.
Right.
And they were like, no, it's not the same $10.
And you're like, yeah, not literally.
Yeah, I'm not saying like literally. Although, I mean, if you genuinely
could
closed circuit economy, it really
literally
could happen. Get one of those "Where's George" bills.
Those are my favorites. I like getting weird money at stuff.
Like that's been like marked or something. I think it means it's technically void.
Well, no, not marked money, just like weird, random, like older money. Like one time, I got like a 20. I got a 20 from 20 years ago, and I was like, ooh.
I think that's worth $21.
Right? Yeah. So, because when I first got it, I thought it was like, because I thought it was counterfeit. I was like, why does it look so weird?
Wrong.
And then I was like, it was actually like 25 years ago. It was from like 85.
So 40 years ago.
Oh gosh, is the 80s really
35 years ago?
Jesus.
So like
it's like an 80s 20, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah, what do I do with this? Well, the 100 changed like 3 times in 10 years.
Right.
So it went from the regular one to the big face ones, because then all the rappers were like, I spend them big face hundreds because like it was cool. And
right.
Then
now it's blue money.
Now it's like rainbow money. It's a member of the She-Ra Power Princesses now. I'm $100 bill girl.
I mean, that's the one you really want to get behind.
Tell you what, Nicki Minaj and her hang out all the time. I guess we'll do some sports here.
I mean, we're this far into it, should we?
I don't know.
All right, so the adventure begins. Fantastic. Comic Games more. Fantastic people. They had all kinds of different events going down. Thursday, today, from 6 to 10, the Comic Collectors United group. This is the first time they're meeting together. Get together, talk about all your cool memorabilia that you've picked up, all your cool collectible comics. February 14th, this is a big one, Hop Shops and Tabletops. This is in conjunction with Comicpalooza 365. This is a Scott Pilgrim-themed Valentine event. If you're single, if you're ready to mingle, this is a great event to go to. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. This is in conjunction also with Tapped. It starts at 8, ends at midnight. Saturday the 15th, 2 to 6, is the MTG Booster Draft, Theros Beyond Death. $15 to enter. And first place will win $30 store credit, second wins $20, and third wins $15, and promo packs to everyone who places.
Promo packs all around.
Still the same Saturday, 12 to 4, is the Board Game Design Shop, so this is a real great way. If you ever wanted to think about like starting a board game, or you really wanted to know the ins and outs, this is a great group to come visit. And the 22nd of February, 1 to 5, comic and art signing with Dirk Strangely.
Oh, he's weird. No, I'm just kidding.
Strange, isn't it?
Oh, he's weird. Anyway, I love the Adventure Begins. They got my comics in a box up there. I get my discount. Mm-hmm. Good people. That's where I do my Dungeons and Dragons. Make sure to come and hang out. I am curious about the. I think I'm gonna try and get there for that.
For the Strangely?
For the Scott Pilgrim thing.
Oh yeah. It's on Valentine's Day.
Ooh.
I'm going to be there.
Oh, man, I really want to be there almost just for that. Okay, so two pieces of news broke for the NFL that we really have to talk about.
Oh.
Because they're both so ridiculous.
Okay, I'm in.
I know you love ridiculous NFL stories.
It's like my bread and butter.
So, story one. This is so dumb. So if you were picking people what position on the field should probably have the best vision, like 2020?
Okay.
On the football field, who do you think should have the best vision?
Either receiver or quarterback. Between those two.
Okay, all right. Those are both good. Why do you say quarterback?
Because you just need to be able to see, your options that are available to you. You don't want to throw the ball at someone who's not on your team if you have really bad vision.
So you think it may be important to have good vision.
Exactly.
If you're a quarterback.
Are you going to tell me that a quarterback has like 10/50 vision?
I'm going to tell you there's a quarterback who just this week had LASIK to correct severe nearsightedness.
Nearsightedness?
So could see up close, but not far.
Like, what was this? What?
They didn't say in the article I read. They did, however, point out there are numerous photos of him on the sidelines squinting at the scoreboard. So this particular quarterback has trouble seeing the scoreboard.
You know, the thing that's massive.
Which is designed to be seen by everyone in the stadium. Squinting to see the scoreboard.
You know, I'm really glad we live in a society that can pay professional athletes to be blind on the field.
Do you want to take a guess at which quarterback just had LASIK eye surgery?
Who? I have no idea who could it be.
I think when I say the name, you're going to immediately realize it makes perfect sense.
Was it the guy that like has the weird games, or is that the guy just in his head? It's like you just can't see.
You just can't see. It's Jameis Winston.
I was right.
You are.
Oh my gosh.
Jameis Winston.
He just couldn't see.
Who may be a free agent, is probably a free agent, is definitely going to be a free agent.
He's going to be a free agent, but he's going to have those new eyes.
Just got LASIK to correct his nearsightedness.
How did I know? How did I know it was going to be him?
A quote from the head coach essentially was he sees up close, so he sees the guys well enough.
That's not what?
That was a quote from his coach.
I'm gonna have to call you out on that one, Chief. If you're squinting at the scoreboard, ain't no way.
Squinting at the scoreboard, and you're getting out of games where you threw 4 or 5 interceptions.
Right, like that's enough to end someone's career, and you just can't do it because you probably just can't see them.
No idea who's there.
So this means he's probably actually a pretty good quarterback if he could see.
If he was every other game good blind,
right?
Is he every game good with vision? Is kind of what you're getting at?
Yeah, like it's not the best logic, but I mean,
it's not the worst,
right?
He could be.
Like, I'm not saying he's gonna be like the next greatest guy ever, but like he's at least decent now if he could see. Like I want to go through the games where he threw all those interceptions and see how far away they are.
Yeah, how off was he?
Right.
You never know.
Not only that, but like how far away in distance. Like if are his completions like when they're close to each other, and you can make it out way easier. And like as soon as you cross like a threshold, he just throws interceptions because he doesn't know who he's throwing at anymore.
Like the most downfield. I bet it's one of the stats. I bet it's something that's tracked on one of the things.
Probably
most downfield interceptions.
Right.
But what if? Okay, but let me ask you this. So what if he does in fact lead the league in most downfield interceptions, but also leads the league in short interceptions and also middle interceptions?
If he just leads, well, I think he does lead the league.
He probably leads it at all of categories.
Yeah.
Does it change anything for you? Because like he's still throwing the short ones. Like here's the problem: he still throws the short interceptions, right?
Right, but I have a feeling that it like because sports is so mental, like he would click
he
in
wouldn't throw the short ones
because he can make the long ones now.
So then he would feel better about himself and
exactly.
fewer turnovers, and then it doesn't just it's quicksand out of control.
Right. It either doesn't quicksand or he gets too cocky and just never recovers. I don't know. It could go either way.
Yeah. I mean, listen.
Like, I don't want to stand on the fence here, but I'm not saying James Winston is good. I'm just saying that he's probably a lot better now that he can see.
Give the kid another chance. Listen, more than likely someone is going to sign him to play somewhere.
Somewhere. Like, if not, he'll be a backup third string in a team that will break both their quarterbacks' legs.
So, I think we've had the conversations here, and I want to get into these more after the break. We're going to play like a game of like musical chair quarterback. But I think when we look at it, there's about 12 to 15 teams that are going to probably be changing quarterback,
which is massive.
So he's probably gonna be starting somewhere. I mean, is this the comeback? After 5 terrible seasons, is this the comeback?
Has it been that long?
Yeah, because he had a $20 million a year, and usually that's the the last year of the contract. That was the team option year that they wisely opted in on.
What good decision making.
Yeah, I know, right? All right, before we jump out to a break and when we come back, we'll get to the second story here because I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to ruin the second story. It's too good. Allow me to introduce you guys to Tiger Rock Martial Arts. With 4 great locations that are open to all members, Tiger Rock offers world-class training with top-level instructors teaching self-defense and jiu-jitsu among other courses. Helping to improve your physical fitness and raise your confidence, Tiger Rock Martial Arts is able to start working with anyone 4 years old and up and show them the life skills and focus it takes you to succeed in the modern world. Anyone seeking a fun, energetic way to make a positive life change needs to reach out to Tiger Rock Martial Arts and get started changing their life for the better today. All right, we'll be right back. When we come back, we got more Nerd Thug Sports coming your way. From chicken fried steak with jalapeno cream gravy to spicy shrimp tacos or a double bone-in pork chop, there are many items listed on the menu of the Woodlands area's newest restaurant and lounge. With 2 full bars, 40 beers on tap, 23 wines by the glass, and a large, family-friendly patio, Citizens Grill is designed to create a fun atmosphere. Interested in hungry parties can find them on FM 1488 at Old Conroe Road across from the Escape Theater and Del Webb, open weekdays 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and weekends 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. And interested parties should absolutely check out the Nerd Thug Radio events pages for specials. Hi, Conroe. Corey DLG of Nerd Thug Radio. For people interested in saving money on car and home insurance, they should contact Sean Myers Insurance Services. If you look on Google, you'll see plenty of 5-star reviews for these guys. They're great. They're an independent agent able to shop over 15 national carriers to find the best coverage at the best price for that customer. They do specialize in home insurance as well as bundling with auto to maximize discounts. They would want you to know that they consider their customers family and that their policy is caring and their goal is to bring value by going through your coverage line by line to make sure you actually understand what you have. Interested parties should call 936-760-5963 if they're interested in saving money on car insurance today.
This is Rudy Tomjanovich, and welcome to Nerd Thug Radio.
Welcome back to Nerd Thug Sports, coming at you on 104.5, 106.1, the sister stations, streaming worldwide at irlonestar.com. All right, so before we jumped out of the break, we had just wrapped up the Jameis Winston isn't blind anymore story. Somehow that's breaking news.
I think it was just no one knew the news.
No, because that was so enough people knew to be asking Bruce Arians about it throughout the year, and there was enough shots.
When is he gonna get his vision fixed?
Maybe more teams should be asked this about their quarterbacks, but apparently, there were plenty of shots. I guess it came out there were lots of shots of him squinting to read the scoreboard on the sideline, and I guess eventually it became widely enough known and seen that finally people were like, "Hey, so what's the story with you and the scoreboard? How come you can't read it?" And then it's, "Oh, I've got nearsightedness, et cetera, et cetera."
And you're like, "Aren't you a quarterback?" And he was like, "Shut up."
Right. And he was like, "Yo, don't tell nobody though. It's kind of our secret." And you're like, "I'm a reporter. I don't keep secrets about you." Like,
I have no vested interest in this. This doesn't stop me.
It's genuinely newsworthy that our starting quarterback's nearsighted. And he's like, "Dang, I shouldn't have said anything."
So he got LASIK that day.
No, that would have been way smarter to get it last season. Also, apparently, he wore goggles in practice.
How? What a nerd.
So, but like prescription, because apparently the question was posed like, "Hey, is he ever considered wearing contacts?"
Yeah,
so he can see
or
down
goggles.
The field. Well, okay. Here's the thing: if they say
prescription goggles, by the way.
Well, really wrap your brain around this. After a game at some point, I guess, a reporter, is like, "Hey, so is he ever going to wear contact lenses so that he can see downfield?" To which Bruce Arians replied that sometimes he likes to wear prescription goggles in the practice field, but he hasn't worn it in a game yet.
Yeah, because he looks like a nerd. He's trying to look
good.
Looking like a protagonist in a Digimon anime where they got the stupid goggles on their head.
Accurate. But so, I guess he just really wanted to, I don't know, look cool?
Like, how cool are you looking if you can't see anyone?
I don't know. And it's a really weird idea that sometimes in practice he would wear them, and then,
as he got to the field, It's got to be weird being like, man, he sometimes wears those goggles so he can see, right? And then when you walk up to the field with your quarterback and he turns around, you're like, oh, he's not wearing the goggles. Oh, no.
Like, when you, as a teammate, find out about, so like in practice, you watching him throw, and he's throwing downfield, and
you're like, yeah, all right.
You lean over, you're on the defense, so you're watching him play, you lean over and you go, hey, man, is he wearing goggles? Yeah, man, I think they're prescription. Oh, so, okay. So those prescription goggles. Yeah, I think he has to have them to see good. Okay, cool. And then game day rolls around, and you see him warming up, and all of a sudden you notice...
No goggles.
Hey, why is he squinting to look at the scoreboard? How come he's not wearing his goggles? Hey, man, where's the goggle guy?
Nope.
And then your teammate's like, there's no goggle guy. So he's not going to get goggles? Nah, man, there's no goggle guy.
There's no goggle guy.
So there's not somebody who's going to bring him his goggles. The guy's not going to wear goggles at all. No goggles. Practicing goggles, not going to play in goggles? Nah, not going to play in the goggles. Why are we practicing the goggles? So he can see downfield, man. But he can't see the scoreboard now. Is he not going to wear the goggles? No, there's not going to be any goggles. So we're going to do the whole thing, no goggles. No goggles. We got to get a goggle guy, man.
We got to get one.
Somebody got to be in charge of the goggles. Coach ain't going to tell him about the goggles? I mean, I don't know. You going to ask? No, I'm not going to ask Coach. You going to ask Coach? Nah, we need a goggle guy.
It's like talking to like the guys that hand him water, and it's like, we got a goggle guy.
Hey, man, you guys bring the goggles?
And they're like, what?
No, they all know. Every one of them knows. I guarantee you there's 120 people in the Buccaneers organization, and every one of them knows about the goggles. I guarantee you when, like, the third-string nose tackle on the defensive line goes, y'all ain't going to get the goggles out, really? He just threw another interception downfield. No one's going to get the goggles? Nobody.
Poor guy can't see.
The guy don't even know there's another person over there. You got no goggles.
5 years.
5 years gets LASIK after they're probably done with him because his contract is up. It's just up. They didn't re-sign him. It's just up.
Yeah, because he can't see and he threw 20 interceptions in 1 year.
Oh my God, I can't imagine being the head coach and just being like, yeah, sometimes he wears glasses when he's looking at stuff, but not every time. What?
That's like the definition of why aren't you checking on this?
When you say that winning and losing is about doing details and getting every inch, I think goggles counts in those categories.
Oh yeah, especially when he can't see past like 5.
When I'm the guy who's like playing through a knee injury and it's like looking forward to off season so I can get that groin surgery, I need to rebuild my groin, and like I'm just giving everything I've got on the field, and then I find out he just doesn't wear his goggles.
Right. I'm trying so hard.
Like I am killing myself to make it. And that guy won't wear his goggles. We gotta get a goggle guy. We gotta get one. And also in the news of we need somebody to take care of this. Antonio Brown has continued his apology tour.
Nice.
Coming
2020.
Who do you think he's apologized to this time?
I don't know.
Ben Roethlisberger.
What? Big Ben?
Big Ben. He's now issued an apology to Big Ben. He posted an Instagram photo of a picture from a couple years ago where Big Ben is kind of patting him on the back of the helmet, and he looks all happy. And the quote, it's long, it's wordy, it's poorly written. And basically it's like, I let things get to me and influence my decision-making and should have had a calmer head and stayed.
Why don't you feel stupid?
Yeah, I bet you missed that $40 million you could have had this year.
Antonio Brown never ceases to amaze me. If not for one thing, then just definitely the fact that he exists eternally in like this weird bubble of bad decision making.
Right.
That like he's like, maybe if I say sorry, but also he's never gonna come back.
I don't know. I think if you're good enough, you can say you're sorry back onto a team. I don't know.
It's hard to say.
He is 31. That's the other problem, is he's getting to be too old.
Right.
Like if he gets much older, then he can't say his way sorry back on.
Exactly.
All right, how much time we got here?
We got about 4 minutes.
All right, we're gonna start a quick game here. We're gonna play a quick game of quarterback musical chairs.
Okay.
All right. So New England, Tom Brady. I say Tom Brady is going to leave.
You think so?
So that means New England's going to need a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tom Brady is going to go. I think
the Raiders.
It'd be such a weird. I don't think he goes to play for John Gruden. John Gruden destroys quarterbacks.
This is fair.
I think he goes to Tennessee. Okay.
So I think he goes to the team that knocked him out of the Super Bowl.
I think he goes to Tennessee, and I think he takes a lot less money. But I think he goes to Tennessee and lets them sign a bunch of good players around him. So then Buffalo has a good young quarterback. They're good. The Jets have a good young quarterback. Miami is probably going to draft one of the two kids. So
they'll think they'll be okay.
Yeah, but it's not going to be one of the new guys, or it's not going to be one of the old guys, I should say. Baltimore's good. Pittsburgh's good. Some people say Cleveland is not. If Cleveland were to replace Baker Mayfield, it would be through the draft.
Right.
I don't see them letting him go. He's got time on his contract.
He's got time on his contract, and like everyone really likes him. Like he
I
didn't have a great year, but like,
I don't think it's him. So I think Andy Dalton is done in Cincinnati, though.
Yeah, he did terrible. I don't think he missed a game, but he did awful. So fantastic, good for him.
So he's going to be a free agent, and also the Cincinnati job is open. Houston's good. Tennessee is probably letting both of those quarterbacks go.
They did surprisingly well this year.
They did, but I also think they're getting Brady, so they're going to have Mariota, and then Ryan Tannehill. I think both of them will be free agents. All right.
Okay.
So right now we've got Tannehill, Mariota, and Andy Dalton as free agents. Jacksonville will probably, or Indianapolis will probably let Jacoby Brissett go. Or they might keep him one more year and draft somebody. They'll probably keep him, because cutting him means they're going to have to give him money. Jacksonville, I think, is going to. They're going to roll with who they have one more time. Nick Foles and Gardner Minshew, but I think this year Gardner Minshew's the starter.
That makes sense.
And Nick Foles is the backup.
The old switcheroo there.
Yeah. Kansas City, they're going to give Mahomes a contract. Denver, they like their kid. Oakland is going to have an opening. And Derek Carr is going to be a free agent. The Chargers are going to have an opening, and Phillip Rivers is going to be a free agent.
Which hasn't happened in forever.
Philly's probably happy. Dallas, with all of these quarterbacks out there, I could see Dallas making a change at quarterback.
That makes sense, especially because Dak didn't really do anything this year, despite all the hype at the beginning of the season.
Right. Now, I don't think they're going to let him go without getting one of these other guys, but if they get one of these other guys, I think they'll think about letting him go.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants got a kid. Washington has a kid. Green Bay's good. Minnesota, they're still in the middle of this Kirk. I think they're going to stick with it. Chicago, I could see starting over. I just don't think they believe in Mitchell Trubisky. Detroit has Matthew Stafford, but I think it's time to let him go.
It's not a real quarterback because he's not on a real team.
Right. I think they're going to let him go, but I think they're going to draft somebody behind him.
That makes sense.
And Trubisky is also going to be a free agent.
Man, that Chicago team is so decent. Like, they just need a good quarterback.
They just need a quarterback, right. New Orleans, this is the wild card because there are 3 quarterbacks on this roster. And I think 2 of them come back, but it's who? So I'm going to say that Teddy Bridgewater is the free agent. I'm going to say they keep Hill and they keep Drew
Was
Brees.
it Hill or Bridgewater that had the streak this year?
Bridgewater's the one who went undefeated. However, New Orleans has essentially said that Taysom Hill is the guy they want to keep.
That's fair.
Just because he plays all the different positions and all that. I don't think Atlanta gets rid of Matt Ryan, but they went 7-9 and they've kind of haven't gotten back from the Super Bowl.
He killed my fantasy team.
I just don't know what they.
So sad.
I don't know what they do though. Like I don't know what they need to do about it to make it better.
I don't know.
I think they give it one more year. Tampa Bay needs a quarterback, and they're giving up Winston. I think they're done there.
Giving up the blind man.
They're giving up the blind man. Carolina's giving up Cam Newton. I don't think that's even in question.
Yeah, especially because he's probably not even going to play next year.
Well, no.
There's a very honestly,
You don't think so?
I think he comes back. If he comes back, he's going to get hurt real fast.
I think it could happen. And Arizona's got a rookie, and so everyone else is set. San Francisco set, Seattle set, the Rams are set. Okay, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 teams cutting the quarterback. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. At least 12. And I don't have Ryan Fitzpatrick on here. So that's 13 quarterbacks.
Oh, Lord.
These are teams that I don't think are going to draft. These are teams that I don't think would draft a guy. These are teams I think would. They're cutting a guy, and they're probably going to replace him with someone.
Right.
When we come back, we'll play the game of who do you think goes where?
Okay.
Before we get out of this, though, let me tell you guys about. You know what? No, we'll do it after the break. We're going to do it after the break. Made the executive decision right there.
Executive decision.
See that? We're going to do it right after the break. We're going to jump out. We come back. We got more Nerd Thug Sports coming your way. The Adventure Begins, Comics, Games, and More is open on 1488 at 525 Woodland Square Boulevard. With comics, games, and everything nerd-related, The Adventure Begins is the one-stop nerd shop. On Saturdays, they alternate between having Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, and coming up, they also have cosplay crafting and trivia nights and BYOB nights. They're currently offering a 10% discount for limited time, which will be valid for as long as you grab your books every month. Hey everybody, I'd like to introduce Tiger Rock Martial Arts. With 4 great locations that are open to all members, Tiger Rock offers world-class training with top-level instructors teaching self-defense and jiu-jitsu among other courses. Designed to help improve physical fitness and raise confidence, Tiger Rock's martial arts is able to start working with anyone 4 years old and up to show them the life skills and focus it takes to succeed in the modern world. Anyone interested in a fun, energetic way to make a positive life change should absolutely reach out to Tiger Rock Martial Arts and get started changing their life for the better. TigerRockMartialArts.com. From chicken fried steak with jalapeno cream gravy to spicy shrimp tacos or a double bone-in pork chop, there are many items listed on the menu of the Woodlands area's newest restaurant and lounge. With 2 full bars, 40 beers on tap, 23 wines by the glass, and a large, family-friendly patio, Citizens Grill is designed to create a fun atmosphere. Interested in hungry parties can find them on FM 1488 at Old Conroe Road across from the Escape Theater and Del Webb, open weekdays 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and weekends 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. And interested parties should absolutely check out the Nerd Thug Radio events pages for specials. Hi, Conroe. Corey DLG of Nerd Thug Radio. For people interested in saving money on car and home insurance, they should contact Sean Myers Insurance Services. If you look on Google, you'll see plenty of 5-star reviews for these guys. They're great. They're an independent agent able to shop over 15 national carriers to find the best coverage at the best price for that customer. They do specialize in home insurance as well as bundling with auto to maximize discounts. They would want you to know that they consider their customers family and that their policy is caring and their goal is to bring value by going through your coverage line by line to make sure you actually understand what you have. The interested parties should call 936-760-5963 if they're interested in saving money on car insurance today.
Hi, this is Kevin Smith, former Dallas Cowboy, Texas A&M Aggie as well, and I want to say what's up to Nerd Thug Radio.
Welcome back, Conroe, to Nerd Thug Sports, hanging out here on 104.5, 106.1, the sister station, streaming worldwide at irlonestar.com. Before we get into anything, I want to tell everybody about my friends, the Citizens Grill. You guys need to get out there, man. We're doing a great special with them. Appetizer, dessert. We've got an event that's going to be running through the rest of the month. When you go in there Monday through Thursday, order an appetizer or a dessert and get half off on it when you check in and show the waiter or waitress that you did so with our event.
Highly recommend that bread pudding. It is something special.
The bread pudding was great. They've got a spinach artichoke dip that's out of this world. The wings were good. But I need to let you guys know that from chicken fried steak with jalapeno cream gravy to spicy shrimp tacos or double bone-in pork chop, it's all good at the Woodland area's newest restaurant and lounge. With 2 full bars, 40 beers on tap, and over 23 wines by the glass, and a huge family-friendly patio, Citizens Grill is sure to please. It's right there on 1488 at Old Conroe Road across from the Escape Theater and Del Webb. Open weekdays 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and weekends 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. We're going to be out there this Saturday doing the Overwatch League, watching the Houston Outlaws make their 2020 season debut. Come kick it with us. Come watch and see what it's all about. It's a lot of fun. So make sure you stop by Citizens Grill today. All right. Nico, we're going to do this, and then towards the end, we'll go ahead and tell everybody about Donald. What's that sound like?
All right. Sounds good to me.
All right. So New England needs a quarterback. Cincinnati needs a quarterback. I think Tennessee signs Tom Brady. Oakland needs a quarterback. The Chargers need a quarterback. Cowboys, the Bears, the Lions. I've got the Saints listed here, but I shouldn't because they're going to bring 2 of them back. Tampa Bay, Carolina. That actually
so we have 10 teams.
10 teams with 13 quarterbacks.
I genuinely don't know if Winston goes anywhere.
Okay, so I think Bridgewater gets to pick where he goes.
Right, he's definitely the most. I feel like the most accomplished out of these people.
Correct.
I don't know. Maybe he goes.
I personally think that he goes to Cincinnati, where it's a young coach and a team where he can show what he can do, because he'll be 28, and essentially they'll build a team around him over the next 5-6 years.
That's fair. That's a reasonable outcome.
So I think Teddy goes to Cincy. All right. So the Cincinnati job's off the board. Okay. Of these next set of guys, I'm going to call these the young guys. I don't even like calling them that. You got
quote unquote young guys.
Yeah. These are guys with like a future. Like if you sign them, you think over the next 5 years you're getting something. Mariota, Tannehill, Carr, Dak, Trubisky, and Winston.
Yeah, Winston and Trubisky are both real hard.
They're probably the bottom of that class, right?
Right.
Mariota too, though. So Tannehill and Carr. Carr probably goes first. Where do you think Carr's going? You got New England. You got Well, he's leaving Oakland. You got New England. You got the Chargers. You got the Cowboys. You got the Bears. You got the Lions, Tampa Bay, and Carolina.
I could see him going to Tampa.
I actually think that's a pretty good fit. I'm gonna ride with you on that. Okay, so I think Derek Carr takes Tampa, and if Derek Carr takes Tampa, that means the next best job, which is the one that's gonna go to Tannehill, out of this bunch. I think it's supposed to be the Chargers, really, if you're looking at it.
Right.
All right, so Tannehill goes to the Chargers.
I'm going to put Trubisky in the Detroit Lions because it's not a real team.
Okay, all right.
Or maybe Winston be probably a better fit just because he can't see. It's not a real team, so. It just plays into my joke.
I think...
But I really don't know honestly, where these last couple could go.
Okay, so I think Dak Prescott goes to Carolina.
He goes to Carolina?
Yeah. Because
that makes sense. I feel like it probably fits him a little bit
Carolina's looks like they're lining up. They brought in a college coach. So there's a potential he wants to do some sort of run-gun type option. And Dak Prescott, of these quarterbacks, is probably the best suited for that.
Right, that makes sense. So sad when he didn't get his deal. He tried holding out for so long, and it just ended up so bad for him.
It just never worked. Okay. So, between Detroit, Chicago, Dallas, and New England, you got Andy Dalton, Mariota, Phillip Rivers, Trubisky, Stafford, Winston, Newton, Fitz. I really think you see a guy like Andy Dalton go to New England.
Really?
Of these quarterbacks, he's probably the most accomplished.
I guess.
I don't think New England likes Phillip Rivers. Like, I don't think they think he's special because they beat him over and over again.
Right. That's fair.
I'm going to say Andy Dalton. I'm going to say New England thinks Andy Dalton is the guy who for the next 1 to 3 years can give them something.
That's fair as they build someone else up and
then replace him unceremoniously.
Right.
I think Rivers goes to Dallas because I think Dallas can talk themselves into thinking if we pay everyone else and we just get a good quarterback in here for 2 or 3 years, we should win a Super Bowl.
That's fair. It's not like Dak did anything super impressive.
Right. It would be interesting to see Matthew Stafford go to Chicago, but I don't think I just don't think it makes sense. I think Mariota could maybe go to Chicago because it sounds like they want to try and move the quarterback around. Mariota was supposed to be mobile, but he's never stayed healthy.
I mean, that's just the tragedy of life, right? A quarterback's life, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Newton's going to play next year.
I'm gonna put Fitz in at Detroit,
But he's not a real team.
and he's not a real quarterback, not for a whole season.
That's fair.
So what that means is Mitchell Trubisky, Matthew Stafford, Jameis Winston, and Cam Newton wind up looking
Kind of out in the cold here.
These are your top 4 backups coming into next year.
I think someone with a lot of extra capital might pick up Cam. Like maybe the Raiders, considering they lost everyone.
Yeah, they've got to have cap room at that point. No, I don't think it would be Cam. I think it would be...
Because they're not going to pick him up as a main, because I don't even know if
it would be
he's
Trubisky. Of all these guys, I think
Trubisky would be a backup.
I think John Gruden would take Trubisky in Oakland.
That's fair. I keep forgetting it's John Gruden.
Oh, I guess Oakland needs a guy. Yeah, we'll do Trubisky to Oakland. Because
Another
he's going to feel like he can
work him.
He can whisper him. So you wind up with Matthew Stafford, Winston, and Newton out of a job. So you go New England, it's Andy Dalton. Cincinnati, Teddy Bridgewater. Tennessee, Tom Brady. Oakland, Trubisky. The Chargers have Tannehill. Dallas has Rivers. Mariota in Chicago. Fitz in Detroit. Tampa Bay has Carr, and Carolina has Dak. And Matthew Stafford, Jameis Winston, and Cam Newton are looking for work.
Honestly, James Winston has his 5 years, and I don't know. He'll probably back up somewhere in one of these.
I don't know that he does.
Maybe maybe someone's making the same decision that I did earlier, where they're like, you know what? Maybe now he can see he's actually okay.
My issue is if you waited 5 years,
I feel like that was a lot of really poor decision making that led up to that point.
Yeah, if you go 5 years without this LASIK, now and sometimes you're not eligible for it until something happens. But if that's the case, you really should have been wearing the goggles,
right?
Like you
do as much as you can. You're not gonna go out there and kill yourself on the field for a quarterback who can't even put his glasses on because he feels self-conscious about it.
Yeah, I mean, I was making fun of it, but the reality is, if you're a guy who's
I'm throwing myself out here trying to get this team going,
and then you're not even gonna wear your glasses to the game. Like, there's a level of that's gotta hurt a little bit,
right?
Yeah, I don't know, man. And plus, it's been a really bad 5 years for Jameis Winston. It just has.
Yeah, it's not like he's
ESPN murdered him about a third of the way into the season when they would put up all these stats where somehow in the last 4 years he's led the league in all of the bad category. It was turnovers, it was fumbles lost, and interceptions. He led the league in all 3.
Right. You don't have that kind of record, and then like, all right, now you're gonna pay me the big money, right? It's like, no.
Well, he got $20 million this year to do it. I mean,
he somehow weaseled his in.
I just don't understand how they went for the option on that. I feel like that was
silly. That seemed real bad decision making.
I'm gonna say like that was pride.
Maybe
like they were like,
nah, we got it.
We can't admit that we screwed this up, right?
Right.
But they sure did.
Felt real bad.
They should have. Someone should have felt bad for that. I can't imagine, like, and there's going to be guys that were on this Tampa team where this was their last team, their last year. Whether on purpose or not. Like, whether they're retiring or whether just no one's picking them up after this. And this was the way they went out. Like, with a quarterback who won't wear his prescription goggles on the football field. Like,
right.
It's got to hurt a little bit.
Just a little.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is a messy NFL offseason for sure.
Oh, yeah. This is a crazy one.
Because it's not that many coaches who got fired this year.
Because there are a lot that was last year.
Last year, right, exactly. There's a ton of second-year head coaches now. But it's just crazy to me. Like I said, it looks like there's about 10 teams. There's going to be about 13 quarterbacks.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah. But I don't think Cam comes back. I don't think he comes back.
You keep saying that. And I guess he didn't wind up on a team how I did it. Where could I see him if he was going to come back?
Because the main thing that I'm worried about him is that he falls into the same problem that, like, he's been injured so many times, and there's such bad injuries too. Like you're just not going to recover like that.
Well, he wound up missing most of this year because of it.
Right. And they announced like a few weeks into the season, they're like, "Oh, by the way, he has bone spurs or whatever, not bone spurs."
No, it wound up being the Liz Frank foot injury.
Right, which is
you're off the foot for 8 weeks. You can't speed heal a Liz Frank injury.
You just don't put weight on it for 10 weeks, and then
I'm sure the medicals say between 6 and 8 or 6 and 10. But I mean that puts you so far behind in all different kinds of like you have to rebuild your stamina and your athleticism. Like you have to rebuild all no
of it.
weight for 6 to 10. So let's say it's week 8 that you can finally put weight on. Now it's time to train.
Yeah, you gotta do rehab at that point.
Now it's time to train, and that's just crazy. It's crazy to me that we can get that far in, and I don't know, man. Like I just don't understand. They've mismanaged it to the point where now it's a mess. And so Ron Rivera, who I think really owes Cam Newton a career, is now in Washington, and they've got a terrible, terrible quarterback situation there, but they've got a kid they drafted last year that they allegedly love, even though he wasn't ready to play.
And he wasn't.
No, he wasn't, and he looked bad. And then the first game they finally won, he was taking selfies with the stands and didn't even go kneel it out. Like... There's a lot of question marks at the NFL at the quarterback position this year, and it's going to be an interesting season to see. It's going to be an interesting offseason because teams are really big about planning, and quarterbacks are the plan. Like, there's no getting around that.
You can't be like, all right, this offense is designed to have no quarterback.
Right. So, like, now what do you do? Like, how do you prepare if you're an offense? And then how do you prepare if you're a team? And then who are you looking at in the draft? And all of these things are decided. A lot of these things are influenced by your quarterback.
Right.
And we got 10 teams. 10 teams that we think right now don't know who their quarterback is next year.
It's a rough call.
And
if we even get like 2 or 3 of these, I'm gonna be real impressed.
I bet we got about half. I bet we're about half right.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so how far are we from the break?
We got about a minute and a half.
You want to go ahead and do Donald then?
Yeah, so our friend Donnie Utah with Sean Myers Insurance, they want you to know, hey, they got 15 national carriers, and they try to find the best coverage for you. They'll go with you line by line, make sure that you're saving the maximum on your insurance. They all kinds of different bundles, home and auto. They wanted to let you know that you're like family to them. They care about you. They're gonna work with you. They're gonna try to get the best deal possible. Make sure you give them a call at 936-760-5963. 936-760-5963.
All right. Thank you very much, Nico, and big shout out to Donnie Utah. Get up there, get with him, save some money on that insurance. Let him know that you called and you heard about him on Nerd Thug Radio. When we come back in the wrap up, we're going to talk a little NBA. Hey everybody, I'd like to introduce Tiger Rock Martial Arts. With 4 great locations that are open to all members, Tiger Rock offers world-class training with top-level instructors teaching self-defense and jiu-jitsu among other courses. Designed to help improve physical fitness and raise confidence, Tiger Rock's martial arts is able to start working with anyone 4 years old and up to show them the life skills and focus it takes to succeed in the modern world. Anyone interested in a fun, energetic way to make a positive life change should absolutely reach out to Tiger Rock Martial Arts and get started changing their life for the better. TigerRockMartialArts.com. The Adventure Begins, Comics, Games, and More is open on 1488 at 525 Woodland Square Boulevard. With comics, games, and everything nerd-related, The Adventure Begins is the one-stop nerd shop. On Saturdays, they alternate between having Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, and coming up, they also have cosplay crafting and trivia nights and BYOB nights. They're currently offering a 10% discount for limited time, which will be valid for as long as you grab your books every month.
Hey, Haywood Jeffries, former Houston Oilers wide receiver, on Nerd Thug Radio.
Welcome back, nerds, to some Nerd Thug Sports, coming at you on 104.5, 106.1, the sister stations, streaming worldwide at irlonestar.com. We've been hanging out here this week, just doing our nerdy, sporty thing. And we've been having a good time doing it. So this little wrap up here, I just kind of want to go over some things. A bit of a scary quote out of the NBA. So the Mavericks have gone young again, but interestingly built. They drafted Luka Doncic last year, and they also, towards the trade deadline last year, made the trade for Kristaps Porzingis, who then didn't play at all because he was still rehabbing the knee. So this year now they've been playing together, and Kristaps Porzingis has been getting healthy and coming back. And they are the 5th seed, I believe. They're the 6th seed. We're the 5th seed. They're 2 games behind us. But the quote from Luka that should scare people is... Oh, I'm sorry. It's from Kristaps Porzingis. And he says, things are starting to click with Luka.
Oh, no. You're going to tell me you got to the 6th seed and things are clicking now?
So... Okay, so the other night, Doncic had 33 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 assists. And Porzingis had 27 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists, and 3 block shots.
Oh, no.
It's against Sacramento, so it's not great. And so, but as a whole, the Mavericks team scored 130 points.
Oh. It's pretty gross, bro.
This is the kind of thing that they wanted. This is the kind of thing that they were looking for. And it worked out good because Porzingis has kind of accepted that Doncic is the guy and Porzingis is guy B.
Right.
And so they're feeding off of each other in sort of a hierarchy that's working for them. And here's some crazy stats for you. The Mavs are averaging 124 points per 100 possessions right now.
Oh.
And they went 11-3 during that span. The Dallas's offensive rating of 116.5 ranks as the best ever.
Oh, Lord.
Now, I don't know if that's for Dallas or for the league. That's kind of a poorly written little line item there in the article, but...
We'll just assume Dallas, but if it's the league, it'll roll bad.
Yeah, it's not great. So they had... The thing that's weird is they lost their starting center earlier in the year to an Achilles, Dwight Powell. He was another young dude. And the idea has kind of been this team was going to be young and grow together and play together. And it still might. It might just do it without Dwight Powell. Because even though he's 7'3", so he's huge, Kristaps and Doncic aren't little dudes.
No.
The unicorn, Kristaps Porzingis, is 6'11", 6'10", something like that. And Doncic is a big old 6'8", but he's a burly dude. Like, he's well built. So these are not little people. And so if the rest of the league is going to run, and these guys can run with him, then you don't even need the center. Like, these two guys are just going to run and score 50 points between the two of them.
Right.
So it's a dangerous combination to watch and to think about the fact that, these guys may be just putting it together.
Like, oh, hey, we're starting to figure this out. And you're like, wait, no, you've been smashed us beforehand.
Yeah, you literally... So the All-Star break is coming up this week, and it's just weird to think, like, now they're going to get to rest and hang out together and kind of get friendly, and now you guys are going to start loving playing basketball together and start really feeding off of it. And
oh, Lord. It's going to be a real spooky team.
It's suddenly now it's a team where
There's a 6th seed in the West, and things are just starting to click.
Right. Now
that is, like, just saying that out loud, scary.
And they're not good enough to go 2 seed. Like, it's still the Lakers and the Clippers. They're just both deeper teams.
Right. But you also have to think that this is a young team that's going to play for a long time.
But more importantly, just the two of them, just that top 2, is probably more talented than most of the teams in the West, except for they're less talented than the Lakers and the Clippers. And they're probably, I'll be nice right now, and I'll say they're as talented as the Rockets, Westbrook, and Harden. And now that we've moved Clint Capella, we're not a 3-headed monster now. We're a 2-headed monster. So, it's not a big 3, it's a big 2.
Right.
those stat lines that those guys are putting up isn't much different than ours.
Right.
So they're probably as good as us, and hopefully we're deeper, and maybe that's where we come out ahead. But they're at least as good as us at the top. The top two this season. Not talking career-wise. James Harden and Westbrook have both already been amazing.
Right.
You know, if you're in an NBA game, the ratings for Harden and Westbrook are probably 10 points higher than for Porzingis and Doncic. But that's going to be based on production history as well. But right now,
they're going to be able to produce.
Which two guys do I want if we were playing a 2-on-2 matchup?
You want these two.
There's not a lot of duos I'm picking ahead of these guys.
It's pretty scary.
And that's, I think, Mark Cuban's reinvented the Mavericks, man.
Shout out to Shark Tank, I guess.
Shout out to Shark Tank. I do love that show. I do love that show. All right, guys. I hope everyone enjoyed the show today. On behalf of Tiger Rock Martial Arts, Citizens Grill, Adventure Begins, and Donnie Williams of Sean Myers Insurance. In behalf of little brother Nico and myself, same Nerd Thug time, same Nerd Thug channel.